G'day guys, welcome back to another episode. Today we are driving down the east coast of Tasmania to Freycinet, I think I've pronounced that right, National Park. There's a few free camps around the area which we like the look of, but if it's as busy as Bay of Fires was, we might be in for some trouble, so we'll let you know where we go.
Van fam, we are leaving Freycinet. I thought I should fill you in on what's happened because things haven't really gone to plan. When we came into Freycinet, we camped out at Friendly Beaches. We actually caught up with Jack and Megan, which was really cool. It was really cool hanging out with some other YouTubers. But the camp there was super dirty and there was no reception. And then on top of that, Jack and I got a little bit silly and went for a late night rampage and I hurt my foot. So now I can't really walk very well. So after Friendly Beaches, we moved into Freycinet and the weather turned on us. We had one somewhat okay afternoon and then the storms rolled in. I managed to capture this awesome time lapse of the storm rolling in. And from there, it started blowing a gale and raining constantly. So we didn't really get to do Freycinet the way that we had planned. So instead, we decided to just do a bit of work, do a bit of school. I got some editing done. The kids decorated the caravan in a whole bunch of Pokemon characters wearing Santa's hats. And yeah, we have decided that we aren't going to vlog the Freycinet experience. We're hoping that we might get back to Freycinet later in our travels of Tasmania. So we are now pushing on to Port Arthur.
So I'm excited, we're heading to Port Arthur. We booked some tours at the historic site there, which is I'm excited to take the kids. I came here as a kid with my family. We did a road trip from Queensland all the way down. And I remember the experience being very humbling and just the history I learned was truly amazing. So I'm excited to share that with the kids, see the area from a different perspective because I'm seeing things as a child and seeing them as an adult is completely different. So hopefully the other thing we can find there is somewhere to do a gas refill and some bigger shops because that's what we're struggling with at the moment.
Yeah, Tasmania has been kicking our ass. It's like nothing that we would have expected. There are hardly any shops. The only shops that they have here are like the tiny little IGAs where the food is expensive. I came into Tasmania expecting it to be like a gourmet foodie experience. Yeah, we've been struggling to find food. We can't get the gas refilled. Nobody does gas refills. It's like driving through quiet little country towns. It's a bit like Cape York all over again, only we weren't expecting that. We thought it was going to be quite a lot more civilized.
So we didn't kind of really prepare for that. We didn't stock up or anything like that. So that's been an eye-opening experience, and a lot of the little country towns shut super early. We got into one town and it was a dead street. There was not a car around, not a person around, and this was like at 3 o'clock in the afternoon on a weekday. So that was just crazy for us. So hopefully we can find some places to try some gourmet food, but at the moment we're just struggling with the little IGAs. It's crazy. Can't believe this dirt road's the only way down to Port Arthur. It's quite insane.
There's a little echidna. We saw a little sign on the side of the road that said fresh oysters, and I've been dying to try some oysters in Tasmania. $16 for a dozen, they say, so I'm going to go and get myself some oysters. Gonna try their best. Lovely little lady in there. She gave me a whole load of information on things we can do in Port Arthur as well. We're going to pop these in the fridge and it's going to be some oysters Kilpatrick tonight.
So we're just pulling into the caravan park. We're staying in a caravan park for a few days because the weather's not great and we don't want to stress about running out of power. There's so much to do here in Port Arthur. We're going to give it a red hot crack to try and do everything we can in the few days we have.
How good is a drive-through site? We've come into Port Arthur. We're at the NRMA Caravan Park and it is beautiful as far as caravan parks go. We decided to come to a caravan park because, as you can see, we got grey skies and that's the forecast for the next 4 days, but regardless of that, I'm still vibing on this place. It's beautiful. We've had rosellas come into camp, we've had fairy wrens come through, there's little wallabies and potoroos as well, and I am just about to go in and cook up a bit of Kilpatrick from those delicious Tasmanian oysters that we picked up in here. I am pretty excited to try some Tasmanian oysters for the first time. Tasmanian oyster raw. Here in my, what are we, about 6 degrees now? No lemon. Ooh, they smell good. We'll take the beanie off. We're in the van. We've got the aircon running on heat mode. How good is that? Try my first Kilpatrick Tasmanian oyster. I'm super excited for this. It's extremely hot, but goddamn, it's delicious. I'm tearing up, it's so hot. Well, we've got a big day planned for exploring Port Arthur tomorrow, so I'm going to devour all of these oysters, and we'll see you in the morning while we go and check out Port Arthur.
Okay everyone, let's get going, it's Explore Day! Yay!
Well, this morning, Mel is like a woman possessed. We are off to see Port Arthur, rain, hail or shine. It's only 6:30 in the morning and we're off. It's 8 degrees outside. What have you got on the agenda today, Dar?
We're going to go to Eagle Hawk and look at the view of the coastline. We're going to go to the Port Arthur Historical Site. We're going to pick up our mail that's waiting here and see the remarkable caves and whatever else we can so that we have tomorrow to explore as well. It's a bit foggy.
And we're getting out.
Yes, get out. Go out and have a look.
Alright, we made it to the Tasman Lookout. It looks like it would be spectacular when it's not foggy and rainy. That's what it looks like now. I think I'm going to come back here when the sun's out, or at least when it's not as foggy, which it's forecast to maybe potentially do on Sunday, and I'll stick up a photo and show you what it looks like when it doesn't look like this.
When it's not raining.
Any interesting facts, Mel?
Yes, it's a slice of Earth's history. This rocky coastline was created about 20,000 years ago, and the bay is called Pirates Bay.
Arr.
Arr.
So we've got the tessellated pavement. We can go and see the Blowhole, Tasman's Art and Devil's Kitchen, but they all require a walk.
Probably not today.
The forecast is on Sunday we might see a little bit of sunshine, so I think we're going to come back on Sunday, eh?
Yeah, I think we'll have to. Excited? We're here? You excited?
I think you're more excited than me.
Excited?
Port Arthur Historic Site, here we come. Let's go learn some history. I don't know if you can tell, but Mel's pretty excited for this. I've literally never seen her get out of bed before 6 o'clock without me forcing it to happen. And this morning, she was at me, forcing me to get up at 6, getting us all ready, getting us all started. Literally the first time in our almost 2 years on the road that's ever happened. It is. It is. You've never gotten out of bed before 6 unless I've made you do it. And this morning.
Well, that's because I wanted to see all the stuff. We've only got 2 days. Like, there's
just
so
pointing.
much to do.
I'm just pointing out how excited you are.
Well,
How pumped you are for this.
it's cool.
Visiting the Port Arthur historic site was a humbling and unforgettable experience. It was established in the 1830s as a secondary punishment station. That is, it's the place they would threaten to send convicts if they misbehaved. We learned about transportation. This was the act of sentencing criminals from England to the new colonies of the English Empire, where they basically became slave labour. It's a pretty horrific thought that for crimes that would be considered minor today, people were ripped away from their homes and families and sent to Australia, where they were put to hard labour and more than likely would never return to their homes again. The most interesting of the ruins that we explored was the separate prison. This is where they sent the worst of the worst. The convicts were kept in isolation in tiny cells, and we were able to read of their stories. The one that stood out to me was a convict that was said to have received 1,500 lashes from a cat and nine tails during his time at Port Arthur. We also took the harbour cruise, and Mel arranged for us to take an additional tour on the Isle of the Dead, a tiny island in the harbour where some 1,100 people have been buried. The most interesting of the stories that we learned about out here was that of the grave diggers. One convict was selected and lived out here on the island alone. Their job was simply to keep a grave ready and witness the burials. I think it says a lot about what Port Arthur was like to think that living out here on an island by yourself at a cemetery was considered an escape.
Sore, they don't want to keep walking around, so we're leaving. I've had a fantastic day learning about everything. It has been truly amazing. The gardens are beautiful, learning about all the history is fantastic. I'm just so thrilled.
Glad you had a good time, darling.
Did you kids have fun?
Yes. Yes.
Did you have fun, Kaylee?
My feet are tired.
The feet are tight. We did get rained on, and it was rain, sun, so recommend pack for all seasons.
Well, Sunday has done as predicted. We're actually seeing some blue skies.
Yes, so
We've been-
early though.
We haven't seen a blue sky for about a week and a half, potentially even, it'd probably be about a week and a half. So we're off to explore some of the natural features of the Tasman Peninsula. Right now we're going for a walk down to something called the tessellated pavement. Didn't know better, you'd swear this must be the ruins of some ancient civilization, the way it's just so perfectly square and lined up. It's crazy what nature can do. So according to the information board that we read on the way down, the stuff started forming 260 million years ago. They call this stuff up the top a loaf. You can kind of see why. It forms a bit of a loaf. And then they call this stuff over here a pan.
All the roads we travel, the journey of our lives. Take another picture before we say goodbye. Arm in arm we're standing side by side. Memories fade but legends never die. Last time, let's live for something. I can feel my blood, it's rushing. This ain't goodbye, we'll be back someday. And we will find our own way. Take control of our fate. And like a car with no brakes, crash and learn, make mistakes, and we'll be back one day. We'll be back one day.
There you go, that was the tessellated pavement. What did you think, dear?
It's really cool. It does look man-made, and it's such an experience to see something so rare.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool as well. Well, there's still quite a few more natural features to see here on the Tasman Peninsula, but I think we're going to put the vlog camera down. We're not going to vlog it. There'll definitely be some photos up on our Instagram, so if you'd like to see a bit more, make sure you jump on and follow us on Instagram as well. Give us a smile, Caleb. What you doing, buddy?
Roasting my marshmallow.
Burning your marshmallow, kiddo. Well, how good has the Tasman Peninsula been?
It's truly been amazing. I'm a bit disappointed that we've not got to do half of what we wanted to.
There is so much to do here. It's been really awesome. But I think we're going to leave the vlog there, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you'd like to see more of our adventures. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Bye, guys. So, what's the downer of cooking outside when it's just cold?
What is it, like 8 degrees? It's warm here. How's it there behind the camera?
We're still in thongs.
We're still Queenslanders at heart.
And it's raining.
So this is really cool. We're in a separate prison here in Port Arthur, and this here must have been the way that the prisoners would have communicated with the guards. So they could turn that little knob. Do you want to turn the knob, Kaylee?
Yeah.
And that will come out, and that is probably how they would have asked the guards or told the guards that they needed something.
These bloody possums jumping in our wood box, climbing onto the roof every night. They're so big, they sound like something larger than a possum.
Oh my god, Owen, what are you doing, mate? What do you call that?
So it's very good.
You can eat that.
No, so it's very bad.
Yeah, yeah, that's alright, you can eat that. You're going to destroy the marshmallows, you can eat them.
Yeah,
Let's get in and look at it real
so it's...
Yeah, that's a ruined marshmallow. That's
No,
what that is.
no, it's not.
Eat it down.
So it's bad on, so it looks bad on the outside, but it's very good in the inside when it's burnt.
All the roads we travel, the journey of our lives. Take another picture before we say goodbye.